So we're going to barbecue some steaks today. I got a couple steaks here that I pulled out of my freezer, and I got one more fresh one just because I thought we needed one more for tonight's event. So that's why the color's a little different. One was frozen and the other, or two were frozen, the other was fresh. When you buy a steak, good thing to look for is the marbling. So you can see the fine grades of marbling in there and a little bit of marbling, and that's what you want to see. You want to see some marbling in there, and the more marbling you see, the better. So we're going to prepare these steaks in 3 different ways. I want to see how it turns out. As I watch my cooking shows, they all want you to dry the meat before you put it on the grill, and they have good reason for it. So I got paper towels, and we're going to pat these steaks dry. And I'm going to leave this one without drying it. And the reason they pat the steaks dry is you want it to brown on the grill. And when there's still moisture on the outside of the steak, that moisture steams off first before the browning starts. And the browning that you get on the outside of the meat actually creates more flavor. So we're going to do that one, we're going to leave, and I'm going to see what difference it makes. Now what I like to do with my steak is I like to brush a bit of oil on it. So we're going to brush oil on one. And I'm going to salt and pepper the steaks as well. And we're going to salt and pepper both sides. And I'm going to oil my other steak on the other side. I think the oil is going to create better browning, and that's what I'd like to see the results of today. Okay, I have preheated the grill, and now we're going to go out and we're going to grill our steaks. Alright, so the grill's preheated and we're going to clean the grill. I like a brush to clean the grill, but there is a danger to a brush. I have had customers return to me meat with bristles from their brush in their meat. And I know it didn't come from me, and I've read about it in the news before that bristles come out and they actually lodge in people's throat and cause damage. You got to be careful with a brush that there's no bristles falling off and that you're not getting it stuck in your meat. There is an alternative to a brush, and I have a cleaning stone here for the grill. That works good. There is a disadvantage to that, as your fingers are a lot closer to the grill. And the stone leaves a little bit of grit behind. You got to wipe that off before you do that. Another way to keep the grill clean and to prevent your meat from sticking and also help with browning is to brush the grill with a little bit of vegetable oil. And I just got a paper towel here, and we're just going to rub the grill. The meat will brown a little better on the grill. It also cleans the grill very well, and it prevents sticking. Alright, so we're going to place the steaks on. I have my oiled one, my non-oiled one, and my non-dried one. So we'll put them on all at the same time. Cooking time on a preheated grill. If you want medium to rare, is probably about 3 or 4 minutes per side. Well done, maybe about 5 minutes per side is all you need. I keep the lid closed, keeps the heat in, which works good. Don't use a fork to flip. As soon as you pierce the fork in, you lose moisture, and you don't want to lose your moisture out of your steak. The other thing you don't want to do is you don't want to flip them a whole bunch of times. It makes a really lovely sizzling sound, but that's all your juice sizzling away on you. You want to keep that in. You should only have to flip once. So we're going to close the lid. We'll give it about 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll flip. Okay, so that's been about 3 minutes. We're going to flip the steaks and see how they look. That's the oiled steak there. And that's got some nice browning marks on it. This is the steak That was dried but not oiled, and that's still browned pretty good. And then this is our steak we did not dry. And I would say the browning is less pronounced on that, but not much different, but they all look pretty good nonetheless. And then we'll give that another 3 minutes or so. Alright, so we're going to pull these off the grill. And I have gotten a new plate. Just a food safety tip, don't use the plate you had your raw meat on. That's a good way to get food poisoning. So we got a clean plate here. There we go, there's the oiled steak, there's the non-oiled steak, and there's the non-dried steak. And I'm gonna say, yeah, the non-dried one's a little more pale. It did not brown quite as much than the one that was oiled or dried. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're gonna cover these in foil. We're gonna let it rest for about 10 or 15 minutes. And this is important, because if you cut the steak right now, you'll lose a lot of the juice out of the steak. If you let it sit and you let it rest, as they call it, then the juices will absorb back in the meat, and the meat will hold on to the juices better, and you'll have a juicier steak. It will actually continue to cook a little bit more. It's probably a little more rare right now, and as you let it sit, it will cook a little bit more, and I'm guessing we're going to be medium. So we're going to let that rest, and we'll cut them open in a few minutes. Alright, so now we're going to cut our steaks, see how they turned out. Oh, that looks delicious.
That's very rare.
Oh yeah, awesome. That turned out very well. And it looks like it's medium rare. That's pretty good. So we were about 3-4 minutes aside. So if you like it more well done than that, yeah, add, make it about 5 minutes aside or so. And that is delicious. Awesome.